Hey team, Jesse Reynolds here. I've got your WOD video for Monday. Got the opportunity to actually be visiting with you all week long. Have a few different things that I'm really excited to share with you. And today, on Monday, I get to share with you just a question. How much does it cost? Now you might think I'm talking about the products, and I'm not, although this could still be used in that context. You know, if someone is asking you how much do the products cost, here's something that I learned that forever shifted my thought process and really created some different results in my life. Cost is only an issue in absence of value. But so I'm not talking about the product side. We already know the products are phenomenal. What I'm talking to you about is freedom. See, everybody who's at our Diamond Team meeting heard Nikki Riot up there on stage talk about write down what freedom is to you, put it on a piece of paper, give it to your closest national leadership team member, and whether or not you were at the Diamond meeting doesn't even matter. This concept still applies. There's something that you have said that you want for your future, for your family. There's a preferred picture, a vision that you have for that future of what freedom looks like to you. Freedom from stress, freedom from debt, freedom from fighting over money with your spouse, freedom from having to send your kids to daycare because you can't afford other options, freedom from missing out on all those firsts with your children, freedom from just having to be no parents instead of yes parents because money is dictating your decisions. Freedom from working that job that you just don't enjoy, but it pays the bills. So we all have those things and there's so many more things that we could say about what freedom looks like to each and every one of us. Here's the thing. Freedom isn't free. It comes with a big price tag. No, but clearly our servicemen and women know that better than anyone. And I'm not talking about freedom like what we have here in this free country of America, but because of those freedoms that are provided by our servicemen and women, because of the vision and the values and the constitution of our founding fathers, we live in a society where we have the freedom of choice and where we can pursue these other versions of freedom and what they look like for ourselves. But so it's really easy to say that we want to create a better financial legacy for our children. It's really easy to say that we want to get out of debt. It's really easy to say that we want to earn Jackson Hole. It's really easy to say that we want to be Ruby distributors by Advo Nation, and the list can go on about the things that each of us have on our hearts that we say that we want. So here's the thing. There's a price that comes along with that. And the question is simply this. Will you pay the price? Are you willing to pay the price? That's not a financial price. Although there's sometimes are financial things that go along with it. Getting to advisor, getting to success school, getting to Advo Nation, paying for a babysitter so that you can be at that Thursday night business opportunity meeting 2 hours away. Sometimes there are financial things that go with that. Paying for the gas to travel those places and all sorts of other things. So sometimes there's a financial piece that comes along with buying freedom for yourself. But I'm talking about the work part. Are you willing to do the work? Because until you are willing to put the work in, AdvoCare is always going to be a nice idea, but that freedom that you said that you want is just going to be a little bit beyond your reach. Because the great thing here is it doesn't take a lot of money to buy freedom in AdvoCare. $80 to become a distributor, right? What it takes is work. What it takes is a rearranging of our priorities. What it takes is moving this off the back burner and making this the primary focus for a season, even to the exclusion of some other great things, so that you can then live a lifetime of freedom. I look at Beth and I when we got started, and I've just been reflecting more and more. We've been here 8 years now. I've been reflecting a lot more upon some of the early days, and even and what that's doing actually is that's putting some things in perspective, and it's causing us 8 years later as veteran leaders as Diamonds to take some different actions today as well. I remember we didn't get a lot of sleep early on in our AdvoCare days. We lived in Jacksonville. We were the first people. So this was something. Maybe you're the first people in your area starting to pioneer an area. Are you willing to do the meeting every single week, even if you're getting little to no turnout? Are you committed to continue doing the meeting Or will you maybe do 2 or 3 meetings that don't get quite the response that you hope for? Now, kind of that successful high is let off, and you just find a reason or an excuse that was always there, but now you chose to take the excuse or the reason, and you no longer do the weekly meeting. Or maybe you got your leader 2 hours away, and the meeting's at 7 o'clock, and you get off at work at 5, and you don't even really have time to go home for dinner, and you won't get home until 11 or 12 o'clock at night. You got to be up at 5:30 again for work the next morning, and you look at it and you say, man, I know I probably should be there, but if you ever find yourself doing, I know I probably should, but that tells you a lot about how important something is to you. Find a way to get there anyway. You know what? All the successful people that make the sacrifices to get there, it's just as hard for them. The difference is they are willing to pay the price. Beth and I, when we got started, there was nothing going on around us with AdvoCare. So every other week, we would drive down to Orlando on a weeknight. I would go to school for 10, 11, 12 hours that day, depending on what was going on that day. I would drive 2.5 hours down to Orlando, go to a meeting for a few hours, drive 2.5 hours back, sometimes by myself, sometimes just with one guest. And I'd wake up the next morning and go back to work again. But, what was it worth it? Within 15 months, I replaced my income and I retired. Yes, it was worth it. Everyone else who signed up at the same time I did in AdvoCare, I don't think there's anyone else back then who achieved the success we had in that exact time frame simply because they didn't put the work in for it. And I even look at us now, or I look at when we had a major breakthrough. We were out there hitting the streets, averaging $4,500 a PGV, and 4 distributors per period throughout the first half of 2011. All these great things happening in our business. But then I also look, through that process, towards the end of that, that's when CJ and Melissa Stockle came on board, and they lived 6 hours from us. And so we need to give them ground support. So what was I doing every other week for the first 3 months? I was driving 6 hours each way, staying up there for a couple days, having time away from my wife, going and doing meetings, going and doing mixers, going and doing one-on-ones, because we found some champions that want to go out there and get to work. So we had to go support them and help them build their business. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to put the miles on the tires? I look at what we're doing right now. We came back from Success School, and if you guys don't know, Beth and I, we built our business in Jacksonville, and we helped pioneer a geographical area, and then we moved to Mount Juliet, Tennessee, just east of Nashville. And really, the past 5 months, we've just been getting some roots and building relationships, and just trying to build a new community group up here. And so it's been starting to happen. So we came back from Success School, and we just got a fire in our belly to help take others to where they want to be, to help others win. And so, I look at just what we're doing right now. We got back from Success School last week. We did a one-on-one, which led to our newest frontline advisor Wednesday night. Friday night was a mixer. Saturday morning was a business training. Sunday night was a mixer. Monday night was a mixer. Tuesday was a period close. Thursday was a mixer. Thursday was a business opportunity meeting. Friday was a mixer. Saturday, which is yesterday, I'm recording this on Sunday, was a Saturday morning training. Tonight, I'm about to go do a mixer. Tomorrow night, we've got a mixer. Tuesday night, I'm driving to Rome. Oh, by the way, that mixer and training was in Atlanta, right? 4 hours away from us. Tuesday, I'm driving to Rome, Georgia, 3 hours each way to do a business opportunity meeting and training. Thursday, we're doing a mixer. Saturday, we're doing a Saturday morning training again. We are doing meetings. More meetings means more money. Now, Beth and I don't have to do that anymore. We have financial freedom, but we have a bigger vision. It's really easy for us to say, we're here to serve people and we're here to help people while we just kind of kick our feet up and live the good life. But what the reality is, we're putting our money where our mouth is, and we're getting out there, we're getting to work, we're locking arms with more champions and helping more champions win, because we now have freedom for ourselves, and we have a vision and a passion to help others have that same type of freedom for themselves. Are you willing to work and fight as hard for your family's future as your leaders are? That's an important question to think about. If you say your goal is to be debt free, have you gone through have you joined the $1 Million Debt Buster campaign? Have you ordered, it's free. Have you ordered your Debt Buster kit? Have you gone through your budget and said, what are some things that are nice to have but are not necessities that we can eliminate right now so that we can accelerate debt freedom? Beth and I, we got rid of cable television 6.5 years ago, and we've never gotten back to watching cable television again in 6.5 years, because that was money in our budget that we didn't need. That was time in our schedule that we didn't need to be wasting and filling our mind with garbage. Are there sporting events? Are there family vacations? We got a champion couple up here right now. I didn't even know he did this, but he just told me they became advisors a couple weeks ago. They went to Success School. They canceled an anniversary vacation in October so they could afford to go to Success School. What type of sacrifices are you making right now to get where you say you want to be? Because here's the thing: what if you took an honest look at and you ask yourself, what could I be doing more? What are the things that I should be doing that I know if I would just simply do them, my leaders have told me would get me the success I'm looking for? What if you just started doing those things for the next 6 months? What if you looked up in February or March and you had achieved financial freedom for your family? Would it be worth 6 months to a year of insane focus, of psychotic focus, of working this thing with the type of intentionality that it deserves? And you achieve freedom in just a short 6 to 12 months, would it be worth it? That's the question each of us has to ask ourselves. Beth and I made our decisions. Many of the champion leaders on our team, they've made their decisions. Have you made your decision? Are you all in for your family's better future? I hope that you make the decision that this is the time for breakthrough. This is the time for change. This is the time for freedom, that your family deserves it and that you're willing to work for it. Let's go out there and change the world.